Hail Stalkers, thanks for joining us on this Friday afternoon. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm watch and warning in place across Oklahoma, and most likely a severe thunderstorm watch coming for the Panhandle of Texas as well. I'm going to go through each of these areas, but let us know where you're watching from so we know exactly what areas to target or what areas to talk about. Now, I've got my computer in front of me over here so I can see your chats, I can see your comments, but I am producing by myself today, so let me know if you can hear me. I think I can hear myself, which means that you should be able to hear me. So this is our brand new severe thunderstorm warning. This is just to the north of Oklahoma City. Now, it's a bit far out from the city, and it's not headed into the city. You know, we're talking about 50 miles here. It's marginally severe, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 1-inch size hail in the Loyal area. So not terribly populated, but it's just a telltale sign of what is to come later on this evening. Now let's just go through the alerts that we have on the docket right now. First of all, we have a severe thunderstorm watch for everyone highlighted in red. Now, oftentimes we wouldn't break in or do a live coverage for this part of the state, but we are doing that because it's not an area that we expected earlier today to have significant severe weather. We thought maybe far western Oklahoma, but this north central area, we've seen an increased severe weather risk here, so I want to make sure that you guys know about it. About 250,000 people are included in this watch, including Enid, Ponca City, Stillwater, and Woodward. It goes until 10 o'clock tonight. I want to read to you what the Storm Prediction Center has said about this area and why they have decided to issue this watch. I'm going to pull this up on my screen real quick, because we talked about the increased hail risk greater than what we expected earlier. And you can see that these storms are blowing up here pretty fast. These storms just going up very, very fast in the Loyal area, about to cross over Highway 81 into Hennessy. Looks like I can't pull it up on my screen, but I can pull it up on my phone about what the Storm Prediction Center has said about this area. So let's talk about this watch. They're saying that the tornado risk is low, about a 20% chance for a tornado here. A strong tornado, very, very unlikely. Now, your strong wind risk, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts or greater, but 60% chance to see that. So a pretty decent chance to see some strong winds. And then hail, greater than 2 inches, also a 60% chance to see hail greater than 2 inches. So that's why I'm talking about it right now. That's why we're going live, because I want to talk about that hail risk in this area. I've gone ahead and I've updated our hail map from what you saw earlier as well. This area now highlighted in orange, signifying those larger hailstones possible, golf ball size or even larger, so 2 inches is larger than the size of a golf ball. But we've got other areas across the county, or excuse me, across the country, across the region that we're watching for large hail today. So let's go ahead and let's go over some of these areas. First, we're going to start with the Texas Panhandle, which we've already got storms ongoing across I-27, but at the moment, none of those are severe. We still have some time, especially in this area right here, where the Storm Prediction Center has said that they have a 60% chance for a watch in this area. 60% chance for a watch in this area, and mainly that's for the hail risk, but it's also because of the wind risk. We could see wind gusts stronger than what we see in Oklahoma. Wind gusts in this area up to 75 miles an hour. Okay, that's a very significant strong wind. We've already talked about Oklahoma, where we have a severe thunderstorm watch in place right now, as well as a warning, but I've also got an area highlighted here in yellow just outside of Denver, just to the east of I-25. And for this area, I want to get more information on this from the Storm Prediction Center. This is an area that saw storms yesterday. And let's see what they have here. About a 20% chance for a watch. We're not as concerned with this area. A tornado is possible up to EF1 ratings, and strong wind up to 60 miles an hour. Your hail sizes in this area not as impressive, up to the size of a $50. So again, those are the 3 areas that we're keeping an eye on right now. Actually, if we go back to our radar right here, we've got another storm that will most likely be warned here in a few minutes. This is coming out of Sealing and going into the Helena area. This is most likely our next severe thunderstorm warning. So these are going up very fast. Again, not in any large areas or highly populated areas at the moment. Let's see what our questions are. Lubbock today, Lucas is asking about Lubbock. So earlier we told you that your Lubbock timeline is between 4 and 8 o'clock. The Storm Prediction Center has since then come out and said that they're expecting storms to form between 5 and 6 o'clock, which I can totally see that happening. Let's pull up your Lubbock forecast here. Timeline, I said between 4 and 8. Here's a look at your radar for Lubbock. Here we are at 5 o'clock. We've got some more significant storms forming. So some of that rain that we have going on right now in Lubbock will most likely intensify as it heads to the east, but that doesn't mean that you're out of the risk. You've got another round behind that round that we have ongoing right now. Your biggest hazards today for Lubbock, we've got up to 2-inch size hail. I think that's absolutely possible. Chance for wind, very, very strong wind. Note that we have brought up those margins from just 70 miles an hour to 75 miles an hour or even greater 80 mile per hour wind gusts. Chance for a tornado is pretty low. Let's go through your timeline. 6 o'clock, we've got storms on your doorstep, Lubbock. Just to the west of you guys, these storms are intensifying, most likely coming through your area between about 6 and 8 o'clock tonight. So my timeline, pretty wide timeline between 4 and 8. We can narrow that down for you 6 to 8 o'clock tonight. You've got 2 lines of storms here, but that severe risk will go down after the sun goes down after about 8 o'clock tonight. We can really break down your hail risk too. You know, I said up to 2-inch size hail, which is pretty large. Your chance for 1-inch size hail, I've got that at a level 2. And then for anything greater, a level 1. Hence why we have brought you guys into that level 2 zone. You can take a look at your significant hail model here. Now this is for Oklahoma, but we'll go down to Lubbock here in just a minute. Here's Texas. I-27, you can see those deeper oranges. They seem like they go away, but we do have, as we see more storms form, those oranges come back later on in the evening. So we're talking about maybe 7 or 8 o'clock. Look at these storms that are forming this evening. So I showed you 2 models, one that has storms coming right through the city, another one that has storms staying to the south. Chances for Midland, Texas today. Yeah, I have Midland on our hail forecast here. One model wants to take storms right into Lubbock, the other one right into Midland. So I guess we'll see. Midland, Texas with that level 2 risk for today. Any storms in Midland right now? No, you guys are dry right now. Is it sunny there right now? Oh, you've got a few little clouds trying to pop up on the radar. Look at that. Just one little blue dot in Midland. Any other questions? I wanted to make this a quick live just to jump on here and give you kind of a situational update. Nothing crazy is happening at the moment, but we do have our first watch issued, our first warning as well. I want to see if there's any updates on this warning because it seemed like that storm really exploded very, very fast. It's still warned for 60 mile per hour wind gusts and maybe even smaller than quarter size hail. And thanks for watching today. All right, well, we appreciate you guys hopping on here. One last little round the radar here. Here's the areas that we're watching for today. We've got a slight risk, and this has been expanded since we last saw you at noon. A slight risk through Oklahoma. Now, this northwestern, north central side of Oklahoma, that risk has been expanded for strong wind gusts and large hail, larger than what we expected a few hours ago. We've also got an area of concern up in Colorado, It's a low tornado risk, but hail and wind should not be too much of a concern there. We've got some showers and storms already popping up over Amarillo and Lubbock. However, nothing warned right now. I would say you probably have another hour before your warning in Texas. These are the areas that we're expecting for strongest storms today, which does include Lubbock, Texas, as well as Midland. One model has storms coming for Midland, the other one for Lubbock. We have an ongoing severe thunderstorm warning right now, mainly for strong wind, about 60 miles an hour. However, I do think that this storm right here will be the next one that will be warned. That's in Sealing right now. And then we have a severe thunderstorm watch that goes until 10 o'clock, highlighted in red. This is the area that we're watching for maybe a tornado or two, but we're not expecting anything strong there. Here's a look at your hail forecast for today. We have added this brand new area for north central Oklahoma, and that's for strong hail or large hail that we didn't think was going to happen a few hours ago. Now, since we're seeing current conditions, we're changing our mind on that. And last but not least, your wind forecast. Now, one thing with these storms is that we could have a strong downdraft with these storms. That bringing in some really strong wind, 70 to 80 mile per hour wind speeds cannot be ruled out today, which is why we have these areas highlighted in red, Amarillo and Lubbock. Make sure that you guys keep an eye on not only that hail potential, but also the wind potential today. Speaking of hail, here's a look at your hail forecast. Significant hail model, well, you can see some oranges and yellows on the board right there. But what about the timing of storms? I said it earlier, I'll say it again, between about 4 and 8 o'clock. Nothing warned right now in Texas. However, I think that storms will be warned within the next hour or two. A brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Do we think it's that one that I highlighted in Oklahoma? It's still the one that we were watching for earlier. This is a classic example. Take a look at this. We have a classic example of a splitting supercell right here. By Hitchcock, this was just one singular cell, and what happens here is that these cells split into a right mover and a left mover. Oftentimes, this southern cell, that could produce a tornado, and this northern cell could produce some large hail. So we'll see what happens here. Have they updated their warning at all? I mean, we went from 0.88 inches for your hail size to 1 inch size hail. So technically it's larger hail. Let's move on with our timeline here. Speaking of Lubbock, we were just talking about Lubbock a few minutes ago, so we'll go back to Lubbock here. Again, I talked about that timeline for storms coming in between about 6 and 8 o'clock tonight into the city. Biggest hazards here, 2 inch size hail. So pretty large. Chance for wind, 60 to 75 miles an hour, and chance for tornadoes, low. And there's your forecast. Any last minute questions? Wichita Falls. By the time storms get to Wichita Falls, they will most likely lose a lot of their steam. Most likely by that point, the sun will be down and the severe weather risk will be down as well. But I can double check for you because this area of the state has had some recent updates. Let me just make sure you guys aren't in that hail risk. You're just on the very edge. Wichita Falls will see a better chance for storms tomorrow. So you guys are right in the middle of that marginal risk tomorrow. Any other questions? I think that's it. As far as questions go, I will note for severe weather tomorrow, here I can go ahead and show you your severe weather risks for tomorrow. Because it's a Saturday, no one's paying attention to the weather. But make sure that you keep an eye on it. Oh, this is the wrong map. Hang on one second. This is your hail map for Saturday. Kansas City highlighted there in yellow, some small hail possible, anywhere from the size of a quarter to maybe a $50. Rapid City, all the way down to McCook. I think these are areas that will have the strongest storms tomorrow. We have a tornado risk in this area, as well as a large hail and strong wind risk. As we go farther down to the south, the severe weather risk goes down. We've got a level 2 in Wichita, but only a level 1 for severe hail in Oklahoma City, Wichita Falls, and Abilene, Texas. Max forecasted hail size for tomorrow, 2-inch size hail, as I mentioned earlier. And all of this thanks to a low pressure system, which is sitting over Nevada and Utah, however, moving up to the north and east into places like Wyoming. Now, just this little bit of movement is going to create enough lift to give us enough storms across the plains. Of course, the stronger storms are going to be those that are closer to this low pressure system, which is why we're looking at South Dakota and Nebraska for tomorrow. And there you go. There's your storm update. Again, as I mentioned earlier, if you're just jumping on, nothing big happening right now, but I wanted to give a situational update to indicate that we have storms forming. We are watching it here at HailTrace, and we'll make sure if any storms come into our big cities like Amarillo, Lubbock, Oklahoma City, we'll be back on here live. One last update with these severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing at the moment. 1-inch size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts for this storm that's moving up to the north. Now, these two storms are splitting. So we had one storm right here. It split into two. This one looks like it's weakening right now. I'm going to check our more specific forecast or radar right here. I'm on radar scope if anyone is wondering. Everyone always asks, what radar app do we use? And I like radar scope, but Weatherfront is great too. And it does look like this storm is starting to weaken. However, we've got another one behind it that may be taking its place. And hey, Denver, you guys are getting some rain right now. Nothing is severe, but just to the east of I-25, you could have some strong storms today. We talked about that just a few minutes ago. Oops. Alrighty, I think those are all of our questions for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox. We'll make sure that we hop on later on this evening if any storms go into our big cities, Amarillo, Lubbock, Midland, Oklahoma City, those places that we've talked about so far, those places that you guys are asking about. Ooh, do we have a hail report in Colorado. Thanks, John. A small hail in Colorado, less than the size of a quarter, smaller than the size of a quarter. All right, thanks for joining us this evening. I'll hop back on here next time we have something big to talk about. In the meantime, follow us on all forms of social media. And if you have a severe weather risk in your area and you don't have HailTrace yet, make sure you get that before the storms hit. Get trained on HailTrace before storms hit, because once storms hit, you don't want to be playing catch up with everyone else who's already trained on the app. Follow us on social media for your most up-to-date severe weather alerts, and get our app. You can even get the free version and get severe weather alerts sent to your phone, so you don't have to wait for me to go on live. Our meteorologists behind the scenes, they'll send those alerts for you. Give us a call at 855-334-4245 or email us at info@hailtrace.com. Head over to our website, hailtrace.com, for more weather information. Thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and I'll see you back here, same time, same place for your forecast. Oh, this isn't a noon forecast. I'll see you back here for your noon forecast on Monday, but probably before that for severe weather updates later on tonight.